Most people trying to grow an automation or sales team agency are doing way too much. They're nerded out on shiny AI tools or trying to sell everything all at once. But I'm here to tell you, none of that matters if you ignore the one thing that actually makes money, which is sales automation. And after growing a sales team agency to 105K a month, I can confidently say that if I had stayed selling random automation, I'd still be stuck as a freelancer. In case it's your first time watching, my name is Saad. I build sales systems for a living. This is literally all I do. I went from a nightclub bouncer to a freelancer to now running a 7-figure agency. In today's video, I'm going to show you one of the most practical client acquisition tactics that I use to grow my sales team agency to 105K a month. It's a pain sniffing method that worked insanely well for me. I'll walk you through it from start to finish, explain the thought process behind it, and I'm even going to do it live in front of you. So without taking too much of your time, let's just go ahead and get started.
So before we get started, I want to explain something really important for you guys, okay? So in my career, I worked with hundreds of niches, and I want to save you guys the time and energy and basically the headaches that I've had to experience along the way, okay? So there are multiple niches as a sales team agency or an automation or like a sales automation agency that you do not want to work with. And some of these niches are going to be SEO, okay? So SEO. You do not want to work with them. So as a sales agency or sales automation agency, like I said, you do not want to work or target SEO agencies. And the reason why is because they sell the same vague promise, which is we'll get you to page 1. Their offer is usually weak, hard to differentiate, and harder to fulfill. So what I mean by that is, think about it, like there's 1,000,001 SEO agency. So it's very hard for them to stand out, okay? So they provide awareness, not necessarily something tangible, okay? They usually also operate on low margin, slow moving, and they are terrible at closing leads. So what I've done is I flipped the script, and this is what I like to call the Mayo process method. So instead of selling to SEO agencies, you sell for them, okay? You don't try to sell them your system. You don't try to build a cold email system for their unclear promise. You just intro them to companies actively hiring for SEO. Now, this is the real juice, okay? Now, let me walk you through the practical method, okay? So practical method is you scrape companies hiring for SEO talent from job boards such as LinkedIn, etc. These companies are signaling real buying intent. So they believe in SEO and are investing money in it, okay? Because they are hiring for it. So you package these as warm leads and offer intros to SEO agencies. And you do this using sales automation. And I'm going to show you the exact sales system that you're going to build to essentially do this, okay? So you stay upstream. You're the connector, not the fulfillment partner. So you remove all those headaches, okay? And again, it's scalable because you can do this for many SEO agencies without getting bogged down in fulfillment. So this is the real juice of sales automation. You're using systems to become the connector between supply and demand. So supply is agencies and demand is, you guessed it, companies hiring. And you can say something like, hey, saw you hiring for SEO usually means you believe in the channel, but internal SEO takes time to ramp and one hire rarely covers both content plus text plus backlinks. Do you want a faster ROI? Now, when a company posts a job, especially for roles like SEO, they're not just hiring, right? You have to understand that they're not just hiring. They're revealing a problem they're actively trying to solve, because hiring means pain plus budget plus intent. So they have the intent, they have the budget, and also experience pain. Okay. An example, if a company is hiring for an SEO manager, that means they know SEO is important. So you don't have to convince anybody. 2, they're willing to spend money on it because, well, they are hiring for it. And 3, they need help right now because, again, they are hiring for it. So that's exactly what an SEO agency can do. Okay. So the agency can fill in. Now, I know you might be wondering, let's address the elephant in the room. You might be wondering, Saad, well, okay, let's say I managed to get a deal with these companies hiring. Well, how do I find these SEO agencies? Well, here's the correct way to think about it. If a company is hiring for SEO and you know SEO agencies want those deals, then your job is to connect both sides. Pretty simple. So to find SEO agencies, you want to scrape Clutch. Okay, so Clutch, if you don't know, clutch.co, you can essentially type in here SEO in United States, for example, United States. Get started. And there we go. I will find over 20,000 company. Me SEO is an SEO agency renowned for its comprehensive search optimization and online visibility. So you can connect both of these parties, right? So now you've got supply and demand, okay? So they want deals, you have deal flow, you make intros, okay? So you don't need to be the strategist. You just need to sniff the pain and route the traffic. Now, obviously, whenever you build out a sales system, you want to identify the lead sourcing databases you're going to be using. You also want to pre-draft something called a dream email. So here is the dream email that's going to be AI generated. So essentially, this is just like a hypothetical company. So this is a congrats line, and it's generated using AI. Okay. Hey, Mike, congrats on launching your internship program, creating a growth pathway that balances a real client work with mentorship. It's truly thoughtful. Saw you're hiring for a copywriting intern. Usually means you believe in the channel, but internal SEO takes time to ramp, and one hire rarely covers both content plus text plus backlinks. Quick example, one of my recent clients, Vention, closed 6+ retainers by targeting companies hiring for dev roles. Okay? Same principles applies here. When a company is hiring, they're already sold on solving the problem. So this is exactly like what I mean by a clear offer. So I'm explaining it in like third grade, literally dummy way. Right now, I've got a list of 200+ companies. This is the offer. Actively hiring for SEO, perfect timing to sell retainer services. Want the intro. So pretty straightforward. Okay. So this is the dream email that we're going to be using. Okay. Now let's just go ahead and scope out the project together, shall we? So what we're going to do is to find companies hiring for SEO, we're going to have to scrape LinkedIn jobs. Okay. Once we do that, we need to find the decision maker, aka the founder. So we're going to find founder. Once we do that, then we're going to have to find their email address. So find founder email. And once we do that, it's going to be straightforward. We're just going to have to generate copies at scale. Okay. So step one is I'm going to go to linkedin.com/jobs. Okay. LinkedIn.com/jobs. And I'm going to go to title, skill, or company, which is basically the search bar. And I'm going to type in SEO. Okay. I'm just going to stay in the United States. So I already have 20,000 results. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to all filters. I'm going to refine my filters by going to, so what do I want? I want writing and editing. I'm going to click on show 2K results. Okay, so these companies want a content writer, AI content writer, paid media specialist, senior content strategist, SEO content strategist. So these are all services that an SEO agency could provide them. Okay, now I have this search, okay, in LinkedIn. How do I scrape it? Well, I'm going to use Epify. Epify is essentially a platform that allows you to scrape LinkedIn, TikTok, Google Maps, etc. And all I have to do is I'm going to type in LinkedIn jobs. Okay, and the one that I want is going to be LinkedIn jobs paper results. Yeah, this is the one. I'm going to go try for free. Okay. So simply, I'm going to go to my search URL, which is going to be the search URL, Control-C, meaning I copy it. And I'm going to go to LinkedIn jobs search URL. I'm going to go to add. I'm simply going to paste in the search URL. I'm going to make sure I toggle scrape company details and numbers of jobs needed. I'm just going to put 3,000. Okay. I go to run options. I always make sure it's going to be no timeout, and make sure you toggle no maximum limits. So essentially I want 3,000. Okay. So I will scrape the entire 3,000 here. Okay. Now all I have to do essentially is click on save and start. Okay. And then Scraper is going to go ahead and scrape all these leads for me. So system info, etc., etc. So this is the log of the scraper. And we're just going to have to wait like 5 minutes maximum. Actually, it's 3,000 leads, so maybe like 15 minutes, okay? And there we go. So tried request 28, failure request 0, failure rate 0. So now I'm exporting all these leads here. And let's just look at this data that we have. Okay, we have the company description, we have the company LinkedIn URL, okay, so we can essentially scrape it. We have the company logo, we have the company name, we have the company text, we also have the... So there's multiple fields where we have the job poster, which is this lady, Lauren Calabres, but we don't care about this. We want to find our own founders, okay? We don't care about this. We also have the link, etc. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait a little bit. So we're already at 48 results. I'm going to wait like 15 minutes, and then I'm going to get back to you guys whenever the scraping is finished, okay? Okay, sweet. So we scraped 3,000 results, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to make.com, right? And it's going to be a pretty straightforward system that we're going to build. And I'm going to go to create a new scenario, right? Create a new scenario, okay? And this is going to be sales system, SEO agencies with companies hiring for SEO. Just name this flow. SEO agencies with companies hiring for SEO. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to go to the search bar. I'm going to type in Apify. And the one that I want is going to be get data set items. So this module essentially just can give you access to the data scraped by the scraper in Make. Okay, so now I'm going to go to settings. Okay, to the settings of your Apify account. As you can see, it's a free account, right? I'm just using the free usage. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to API integration. I'm simply going to copy this API token. So copy it by clicking on this button. So I'm going to click on this add and go to connection type is going to be Apify. The connection name, just leave it how it is. And API token is going to paste in my API token. Click on save. Okay, sweet. So now all I have to do, you see this dataset ID? I'm going to have to map in the hard-coded dataset ID, which is in storage. And this is the one. It's called dataset ID. So I'm just going to click on this copy button. And then I'm going to go back to make, go to dataset ID, right? And the limit is going to be one, click on save. Now, if I run once, essentially I can get access to the data. So the company name Flex is hiring for an SEO copywriter. Okay, sweet. So let's just name this. Get leads from Apify. Okay. Sweet. Now I'm going to click on this plus button, okay? And then what do I want? I want to essentially find the founder. Okay, what is the most straightforward way to find the decision maker of a company? Well, simply Google it. If I type in founder Maya Process, which is my own company, I will find that this is the name, Saad. Okay, great. So I can essentially do the same thing. If I go to Apify and I see this Flex, let me just do the same thing. So Flex, founder. Okay? So Zaid Rahman. This is the guy, Flex, and this is the company name. All right, same thing. Now, how do I do this at scale? Well, I'm going to be using a platform called Rapid API. So I'm going to go to Rapid API, and it's going to be Google search. Okay, so this API enables you to essentially crawl the web and essentially perform a Google search, right? Use an API. So I'm going to go to Open Playground, and obviously I'm going to leave you all the resource in the description as always. So you can just go ahead and plug and play along with all the prompts needed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, so this is the headers that I'm going to be using, and this is the API key they're going to provide you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to go to HTTP, make a request, okay? And the URL that we're going to be querying is going to be in my playbook, which I'm going to essentially just leave you in the description like I said. And essentially this is going to save you the hassle to find the URL that you're going to have to query, right? Because in this example, they are querying Nike. So they're going to essentially type in Nike just like this, okay? So this URL is going to essentially find the founder based off the company name plus their website URL. Because if I go to Make, you will see that we have the company name, which is Flex, and we also have the company website, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, okay? Paste it in the HTTP module. And as you guys can see, it's just a Google search, okay? So we're querying site, linkedin.com, founder, CAO, and then we have to map the company name, and then the website, okay? Which is going to be company website, okay? And the method is going to be get, right? Because if I go to curl request get, okay? Now the header is going to be this right here, the header. Let me just copy it and simply go to make. You're going to go to headers, paste it in name. Now this is the host, right? The value is going to be this Google Search API. Now, let me actually do something before I proceed any further. I can just put myself here so you can see everything. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to go to name again, and then I'm going to go Rapid API key, copy this, paste this in name, and again, the value is going to be the API key provided by Rapid API. Okay, so I'm going to paste this in value, right? And then I will make sure to parse the response. I click on save, and it's going to be Rapid API find founder. Okay, let's just save this, and then let's just run once. So let's look at this data that we have. So results, let's go to 1, and then we found the guy, Zaid Rahman, okay? The same guy that we found here, which is the guy, founder CEO at Flex. Okay, sweet. So now, essentially, I want to retrieve the first and last name from this title. So my best friend is going to be AI. So I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to choose any AI model. The one that I'm going to be using is going to be Claude, because I just like Claude. You can use any AI model that you want. You do not need to be married to Claude. You can use Gemini, OpenAI, Perplexity, anything that you want, really. Okay, even like DeepSeek. So I'm going to go to model. I'm going to choose 3.7 Sonnet. In terms of max tokens, I'm just going to put 750, not that much. And in terms of messages, I'm going to go to user, content, and it's going to be text, and the prompt is going to be, I believe I already have a plug and play prompt, and again I'm going to leave everything for you so you can plug and play, just to save you guys time and energy to try to figure this out on your own. Essentially, this is a document that I share with people in my community, and essentially they can just basically plug and play. And I believe this is not the one. I think it's in my playbook. Okay, this is the one. So I'm just going to copy this. Okay, paste the prompt, and then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to map in the LinkedIn URL that I found from Google, which is going to be URL. So retrieve the person's full name from basically title, right, as the under LinkedIn URL, as typically reflected in the URL and the person's profile LinkedIn. And I'm outputting everything on JSON, using JSON, okay? So click on save. Now, since it's a JSON, I need to parse that JSON by going to JSON, parse JSON. So parse JSON, and I'm simply gonna map in the string, which is gonna be the text response. Now, if I run once, Mick is gonna yell at me. I'm gonna ignore warnings. And this is the guy, Zaid Rahman. So now I have a well-structured full name. Okay, so now that I have the full name and I also have the website URL, I can essentially just find their emails, okay? So I'm going to use an email enrichment platform. Now, again, I can use my own email enrichment platform that I built specifically for people in the community, which is essentially my thought process behind this is that people that join, they have to pay for additional software, and it creates this friction, right? So my thought process is I want people to focus on the actual, like doing the actual work, without having to worry about like an email enrichment platforms. Just because these email enrichment platforms are quite expensive, right? If I go to an email finder, for example, they are quite expensive, and sometimes they can break the bank, right? So if I go to pricing, like if I go to monthly, like 1K credits for $50 a month, okay? And it's monthly, okay? And if I go to 2K, now obviously you're not gonna scrape just 1K, right? You're gonna scrape more than 2K, so it's $89 a month. So that's crazy, okay? That's crazy. Now I don't want to deal with this, so you know what? Let me just build my own. And I did not build this. We have a developer, right? It's called Sammy in the community, and he was the one who actually built this. So shout out to you, my friend. So obviously now I know my viewers don't have access to the command center, which is the name of the email enrichment platform. So what I'm going to do is going to use an email finder. Now, once you sign up, you want to have to go to app. You want to go to API, and I'm going to copy this API key by clicking on copy. Okay, I'm going to click on this plus button, and I'm going to choose an email finder here, and it's going to be search for a person's email. I'm going to go to add, and I'm going to paste in my API key, and let's just name this, for example, SEO. And let's just name this SEO, okay? Click on save. And I'm going to go to search by domain. Domain is going to be the domain found, which is company website. And the full name is going to be the full name in the results of JSON, okay? Now, let me just run once. And results, we found the email, okay? Zaid Rahman at Flex1, okay? So let me name this structure full name. And this is going to be parse full name. Okay, now this is going to be find email. Okay, sweet. Let me just save this, auto-align this. Okay, now we found the founder, we found their email. Now we're going to have to generate copies at scale. Okay, so you see this, it's a congrats line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to choose Entropic Claude, create a prompt again, same thing. And I'm going to use a plug and play prompt that I have here, which is, this is the one. Recent achievements prompts. Copy this. Essentially go to model, nets. Now in terms of tokens, I'm going to put 3060, a little bit higher. And I'm going to role user content is going to be text. And I'm going to simply paste in the text of the prompt. Okay. Now the things that I'm going to feed in are going to be the company description. So company description text. And I'm also going to include the industry. And I'm also going to include the, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. So let me go to show advanced settings. I'm going to lower the temperature to like 0.7. Okay. I'm going to click on save and I'm going to add a filter here. So I only want to deal with emails that are found invalid, obviously, to avoid any bounces down the line. So email found or email exists, question mark. And I'm going to click on save and I'm going to click on run once. Okay. So now, essentially, if I read through this, congrats on the 25x plus revenue growth since launch. Building a financial super app that captures the overlooked mid-markets is clearly resonating in the ways traditional banks never could. Wow, this is pretty good. So let me just name this congrats line. Okay. So now essentially, I'm just going to have to copy my text here, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go to tools, and I'm going to pre-draft my dream email. So I'm going to go to sets variable, and it's going to be the text response. I'm going to add saw you hiring for. Now I'm only going to map the exact job title that they essentially mentioned. So it's going to be SEO copywriter. Okay, now what I'm going to have to do, same thing, is I'm going to basically paste in my copy. Paste it here. Little disclaimer, you do not need to have a case study. Even if you remove it, you're still going to do fine. Okay, now people in the community that joined, I've essentially, if you guys don't know, I've included like weight label case studies. So what I've done is I went ahead and blocked the day off my calendar, and I went ahead and contacted all my clients and I said, hey, my community members are now allowed to mention Maya Process as a partner. So they can say in their case studies, we recently partnered with Maya Process and we directly added X, Y, and Z to X company. Okay, so this way they gain social proof, because I understand that people, when they first get started, they don't have any like case studies. Okay, so they're starting from scratch. So essentially, this is like this is gonna help them get up and running as quickly as possible. And looks like I just pasted this twice for some reason. So I've got a list of 200 plus. Okay, so they can basically get up and running as quickly as possible. So you get the point. So what I'm gonna do now is I don't know why this popped, but this is the copy, and this is gonna be dream email. I'm gonna click on save, and I want to get basically the first name of that person. So let me just click on this plus button, go to tools, and it's gonna be set multiple variables. Okay, this is gonna be first name. Okay. So first name, and then I'm going to simply map in the name, which is results to split based off a space, and then I'm going to get 1. Okay, I'm getting the first one, first name. Again, this is going to be last name, and I'm going to map 2. Okay, so I'm splitting Zaid Rahman based off a space, which is, you see this little space right here? I'm getting 1. This is 1. This is 2. Okay. This is in programming. This is 0, which is before 1, obviously. And this is 2. Okay. Now I'm going to click on save. And now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to say, hey, first name. And now I can save this and run once. And I check this out. Run once. And okay, I'm getting the first name, Zaid. Great. And now I have the dream email. So, hey Zaid, congrats on growing 25 plus in revenue since launching, proving there's a massive untapped potential in the 3 to 100 million segment that traditional banks have neglected. Saw you hiring for SEO copywriter, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. So I'm going to go to rename here, and let's just name this get first and last name. Okay, let me just save this, auto align this. And now the last step I'm going to have to do is basically add this to my cold email software, which is going to be instantly. And we're going to add it to like a cold email sequence. So I'm going to click on this plus button, and I'm going to go to instantly. add leads to a campaign, and I'm going to go to my Instantly AI account, okay? And then verify a human. And then I'm going to go to login, okay? And then essentially I'm going to go to this campaigns, click on add new, and let's just name this SEO with SEO and companies hiring. I'm going to click on continue. And then the way you're going to get access to Instantly in your Make account, you're going to go to settings. You're going to have to go to integration and make sure it's API keys, and always make sure to go. So it looks like this is still loading. Let me just refresh this. Let me refresh the page. Looks like Instantly is trying to embarrass me live. Well, not live. I'm going to go to integration, API keys, and then I'm going to go to version 1. Okay, so make sure it's version 1, copy API key. And then you're going to have to click on add, paste in your API key, and click on save. Okay. Now I'm going to go to campaign ID. Now I get access to the campaign, which is the one that we just created, which is companies hiring for SEO. So this make is also taking its sweet ass time. Okay, so the leads email is gonna be email. First name, now I can simply map it by going to first name and last name. And the company name is obviously going to be Flex that we just found. And the personalization is gonna be the dream email. Okay. Sweet. And I click on save. Now I'm gonna go to my Instantly, and if I go to leads, I won't find anything. Now let's just go ahead and then run this through 20 limits. So 20 leads. And then let's just save this, and then let's just run once. Auto online. Okay, we're gonna get our leads pushed to Instantly again. So the cool part about a Rapid API is that it's 90% accurate. And the reason why, think about it. If an email finder is gonna give you the results, that means the first name and last name is correct, right? Think about it. So let me go to leads, and I have managed to add my leads. So if I go, let me just refresh this. Okay, sweet. Load in your dashboard. Okay, sure. So all of these are names that we found. Now let me just map in personalization. So let me just go to leads, add in all my leads here. Let's just read through this. Hey Dave, congrats on building a diverse team culture. Fostering a we before me ethos is rare in agency environments. I'm going to go to sequences. I'm going to add send from my iPhone. And subject line is going to be intros with companies with SEO agencies. And I'm going to add regarding. So there we go. This is really good subject line. Regarding intros with SEO agencies, right? So they're like, who is this guy? Okay, so we're finding the emails. Auto online this. And it's going to stop at basically 20. Let's look through this. Hey, Megami. Wow, what a name, Megami. Megami. Is this Jujutsu Kaisen? Saw you hiring for content creator and social media manager. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna stop this because I'm wasting my email finder tokens. So just because there's gonna be some rate limit here, I'm gonna add a break module. Okay, so it's gonna be a break module here. And I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to go to allow storing incomplete executions. Okay. And then once the scenario, if we have an error, the scenario is going to stop, wait for 10 minutes, for example, and it's going to continue where it stops, which is awesome. Let me go back 10, click on save. Let me save this and auto align this again. And we're probably going to have to need one also in the Rapid API, even though it's pretty quick. Let me just save this, auto align this again. And that's pretty much it. So this is going to be add lead to sequence. And there we go.
So there you go. As you can see, it's not rocket science. You just need to take real life business fundamentals and apply them to sales automation, which is the way that actually makes money. So get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.